Hello and welcome to this College Information Management System video training. My name is Muke and I'll be your host throughout this training. So let's get started. What is Coinfomas? Well, Coinfomas is a records management system primarily for tertiary institutions. And this can be hosted online, or it can actually be made accessible through a local area network. Now, what features does Coinfomas have, or what features does it offer? Coinfomas helps colleges and other tertiary institutions manage administration information, for example, courses, programs, staff, and so forth. And it also has enrollment modules that allow you to do student registration. And there's also class and exam scheduling modules. And then you can also do payments. You can record payments of students and analyze them and see who's owing the school. And then you also have hostel management, where you can maintain queues for student accommodation and automatically assign accommodation to students. You can also manage results and other assessments. And finally, you can also send announcements to staff and students through emails or SMSs. So let's look closely at the first module, which is to do with administration. So of course, under administration, like I said, you can manage schools. If your college is split into different faculties, you can do that. For example, some universities have that. You can also manage departments, including departmental positions, for example, HODs or whatever they may be. So you can actually keep track of who held what position which year. And then you can also manage your programs, various programs that are offered, and courses as well. And then you can also manage information about staff, different staff details, and for lecturers you can even assign courses, who's teaching which course. And then so here's an example screenshot of the faculty module or the administration module. So you can see over here yeah, so you can see you have schools, departments, staff, and currently what you're looking at is a pivot table that is showing the different types of staff that you have and in which department located. So you can see, for example, this college has in total 90 staff members and of different types, and there's 76 males and 14 females. Alright, moving on. You can also do enrollments, like I mentioned. So you can have registration of students by administrators, and students can also register themselves online. They can do course registration online. And then you can, of course, view which students belong to which course or which students belong to which program. And then you can also define graduation criteria and then be able to keep track of the students that are graduating. And so here's an example screen of the enrollment module with different things. So you can add a single student, you can add multiple students, and so forth. And then here's an example confirmation slip for somebody who just registered. And then, like I said, you can also do exam scheduling. So you can define examinations and also examination halls. Students can sign up for exams, and then you can auto schedule each course to take place on a particular date for its exam. And then you can also maintain exam attendance sheet, so you can actually tell which student attended the exam and probably submitted their paper. So here's an example screenshot as well that shows an exam schedule that was generated for all different courses. So it shows how many students are in each course and in which exam room they're going to be, and which date and what time. So this is something that you could actually do. And then of course there's also scheduling of classes. So there is an example timetable that shows different courses scheduled at different times and rooms. And then you also have a payments module that allows you to keep track of payments of students, so you can define different fees, for example tuition fees or other kinds of fees like sports, medical fees, union fees and so forth. And you can define how much is payable for each of these fees. And then you can also define different fee categories for students, for example foreign students, static students, or boarders and so forth. And then you can also record these payments and even define fee percentages. For instance, how much is the student required to pay before they can register, or before they can sit for exams, or before they can actually access results. And then you can analyze different payments and also visualize students that are owing the school. So here's an example page for payments, and here you have a payment summary that shows you the different students you have, how much each one of them is supposed to pay, and how much has been paid, and what each one of them is owing. Alright, they can also manage results. So here you can define grades, you can define assessments, you can map grades to different scores for assessments and so forth, and lecturers can submit results, and then you can view reports of these results including transcripts. So here's an example page that shows the definition of grades, and then here we have an example view of results for this particular person called Wellington, so you can see how he actually performed in each assessment. Okay, for example, there you can see that in the final exam he got 54 out of 60, and then in lab 1 he had 3.9 out of 5, lab 2 he had 4.45 out of 5, the total of the labs is 3.35 out of 10. And then the tests, each of them contribute 10. So test 1 he had a 9.6, test 2 he had 8.8, and altogether he had 80.75 in that course. Alright, and there is an example transcript that shows that, okay, the final grade for this person was actually an A because of that 80 that he got. So if you, yeah. And then you can also do hostel management. Of course, you can automatically assign bed spaces. You can define hostels and rooms, and you can queue students and then automatically assign. So here's an example of hostels that have been defined. For example, there's Kwacha 1, which is a male hostel with 3 floors, and there are 6 rooms per floor, and in each room there are 2 bed spaces. So you can define something like that, and then here you can see an example of the total number of bed spaces. There's 1 female occupied and 63 unoccupied, so there's a total of 100 bed spaces altogether. And then of course you can actually queue students, and here this is where it even becomes interesting, because you can define up to 3 criteria for queuing students. First, you can use a seniority, like in what year are they? Is it in is a student in 3rd year, in 2nd year, and so forth. And then you can also, based on their date of enrollment, they actually assigned queue days. So you can see here, for example, Sinyangwe James has 4,962 days on the queue from the day that he enrolled, and he also has priority over test A because he's in 2nd year and the other student is in 1st year. And then when you look at the proximity and distance as well, he's from Kabwe, which is 507 kilometers from where this institution is located, whereas this other student is 399 kilometers from where the institution. So students that are far away are given more priority. So you can actually do something like this. And then here you can also visualize your active tenants, the students that have been awarded rooms or allocated rooms. You can see in which rooms they are and which bed spaces they actually have, and so forth. And then lastly, you can actually work with announcements. So here you can send emails or SMSs to both students and staff. So for students, you can do things like sending announcements about upcoming exams, or those students that are owing. You can send them personalized emails actually that show them exactly how much they've paid and how much they're owing. And you can also send general announcements. For staff, you can send general announcements to all staff or to specific staff from a department, or even those holding a particular position. Like if you want to communicate to all secretaries or all deans, or maybe you want to communicate to all accountants, so you can do that. So in brief, that is about Coinfomas. Now we are going to go to the actual live demos, where I'm going to show you how to use each of these different modules. So thank you for listening.